People always assume the guy with the nice setup spends crazy money. And honestly, most of what I carry, you could get for less than you think. Alright, this is my first ever EDC video on the channel, and I'm going to try to keep this as budget friendly as possible. I'll definitely be dropping more of these in the coming months to keep you guys updated. But for now, let's get right into it. Let me start somewhere unexpected. With the mics I carry every day. I actually carry two of them, and each one has its own specific purpose. They all work together, and I rely on them for different things. First, the Holy Lac M2. This is a wireless lavalier system. You clip the transmitter onto your shirt, and the receiver plugs straight into your camera or phone. The audio quality on this thing punches way above what you would expect for the price. It's clean, it's warm, and there's barely any background noise. Then I've got the NovaPlug AirPlug Duo. It's a wireless dual mic with studio level clarity, and it only works for phones. It comes with a phone transmitter and has really good noise cancellation when you are outside. I actually love this one as well. Anytime I step out with it, people always ask me, yo, is that AirPods? And I'm like, nah, it's a microphone, because the case looks compact and small, just like an AirPods case, and you wouldn't even realize I'm holding a microphone. For cameras, the one I normally carry with me is the Sony ZV-E10, and that is what I'm using to shoot this video right now. This is the camera I recommend to anyone who asks me what to start with. It's mirrorless, APS-C sensor, shoots 4K, and it takes Sony E-mount lenses, which means the glass ecosystem is massive. Now, the real upgrade isn't the body, it's the glass. So with the Sony ZV-E10 I'm using to shoot this video right now, I pair it up with two lenses. I have the Sony 50mm f1.8, which is my portrait and detail lens, and an APS-C sensor. That 50mm becomes effectively 75mm. So you get beautiful compression, great subject separation, and that creamy background glare people always chase. This is the lens I reach for when I want something to look intentional and cinematic. But before I continue, there is a tool that I've been using for quite some time now as a creator. I keep getting asked about my workflow, so I figured it's finally time I talk about it. It's called Willow Voice, and the simplest way I can put it, I've stopped typing almost completely. As a solo creator, handling emails, briefs, captions, scripts, client messages, all of it, Willow is the reason I actually keep up. So let me show you real quick. I've got a client email to write right now. I just hit Ctrl+Alt key to start recording, and watch. No rambling, no typos, just clean text. Exactly how I would have written it if I actually sat down and typed it properly. And watch this. When I switch to Slack, same tool, but now it sounds way more relaxed. I didn't change anything. It just understands the context and adjusts. What makes it different from the normal dictation on Mac or Windows? It's way more accurate, and it actually cleans up what you say. So it doesn't feel like transcription. It feels like you actually wrote it. And the more you use it, the more it starts to sound like you. Over 100,000 professionals already use it daily. And for privacy, it's fully secure with zero data retention. So nothing you say is stored. It's free to download on Mac and Windows. I've dropped the link in the description, and if you use my code BOMSY20 at checkout, your first month of premium is completely free. Link and code are right below this video. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I also have the Victrox 25mm f1.7, and this is one of my favorite lenses, and that is what I'm using it to shoot this video, paired up with my Sony ZV-E10. I use it more for wide angle shots, and it's brilliant for tighter spaces and indoor vlogging. F1.7 means it eats light and performs really well in low light situations. And for a third-party lens, the sharpness and autofocus tracking on this thing are honestly impressive. It's one of the best budget lenses you can get under $300. I also have this small camera bag here. I normally keep my accessories in there. Spare batteries, SD cards, my camera body, cleaning cloth, everything lives in this bag. It's easy to carry anywhere, or I just pack in my camera stuffs inside and I just put it inside my backpack. For my laptop, I use the Microsoft Surface Laptop 3, and that is what I've connected to these monitors you see at my back. I've had this machine for about 3 years now, and here's the thing. People always talk about upgrading, but I want to talk about what this machine still does well, because I think people replace things way too early. Day to day, this laptop handles research, writing, web browsing, light coding, no complaints. The keyboard is genuinely one of the best I've used. The display is sharp and color accurate enough for editing photos and reviewing footage, and the build quality is solid. It's a premium feeling machine that still holds its value in actual use. For video editing, I keep things reasonable. 1080p timelines, I normally sometimes edit 4K footages on it. Short form content, nothing too heavy. Battery life has held up well, and it's slim enough to slip into my backpack without bulk. And Windows on Surface is actually smooth because Microsoft built both the software and hardware, so it behaves more like a Mac in that regard. Oh, and I almost forgot. I know this is just a mouse, but hear me out. The Logitech MX Master 3S is one of those things where once you've used it, going back to a regular mouse feels like going back to public transport after owning a car. The scroll wheel has this electromagnetic resistance thing going on, so you can fly through thousands of lines or slow it down and get really precise control. And for stuff like editing, browsing long documents, coding, it matters way more than people realize. We've also got these thumb buttons on the side, fully customizable. I've mapped mine to things I use all the time, so it just speeds everything up. It's Bluetooth, connects to up to 3 devices, and you can switch between them instantly. Clicks are super quiet, it tracks on basically any surface, even glass, and the shape is actually comfortable for long sessions. Honestly, this is a productivity tool disguised as just an accessory. For my phone, I'm currently using the iPhone 12 Pro, and yeah, I'm not embarrassed about that at all. This phone has a triple camera system, wide, ultra wide, and telephoto. It shoots in ProRAW, so I get real raw files for editing. The computational photography Apple built into it is still competitive even today. It does everything I need: calls, apps, navigation, capturing moments perfectly. The pressure to upgrade every 18 months is mostly marketing. If your phone does what you need, that's the whole point. But yeah, I'm looking to upgrade to the iPhone 17 Pro this month. I think it's time to retire this one. But overall, the iPhone 12 Pro is still a solid device. Now, the things I actually wear on my body: 2 pieces, but they serve very different purposes. On my finger, the Ultra Human Ring Gear. This is a health tracking ring. No screen, no notifications, just data. It tracks your sleep, HRV, and readiness score. Basically tells you how recovered your body is each morning. It gives you health tracking without all the distractions of a smartwatch. And the ring form factor is very practical. You forget it's there. On my wrist, I'm rocking the Pagani Design PD1662. This is the watch I recommend when people want a mechanical watch without spending crazy money. It wears like something way more expensive than it actually is. So if you're a fan of Rolex watches like the Rolex Submariner or maybe the Rolex Pepsi, you would kind of like this one because this is less expensive. I think I got this around like $200 or maybe less than $200, and it somehow looks like the Rolex Pepsi because anytime I wear this to school, my friends will be like, yo, are you wearing a Rolex? Bumsy wearing a Rolex Pepsi? And I'm like, nah, this is a Pagani Design watch. I don't know where this name is from, but I learned it pays homage to the Rolex Pepsi. Yeah. So if you are someone who wants luxury but don't want to spend much, you can go for something like this. And everything I just showed you lives in this bag, the beige anti-theft waterproof backpack. Let me explain why this one specifically. It's waterproof, so I'm not stressing when it rains. Also, the structure of the bag is solid, so it protects the gear inside. Multiple compartments keep everything organized. I always know where everything is, and honestly, it looks good. It doesn't scream student or tourist. It looks clean and intentional. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of my everyday tech carry. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that being intentional with your gear matters way more than just spending money. Every single item here has a reason. Budget EDC isn't about buying the cheapest things. It's about knowing what you need and getting the best version of that. Everything I mentioned is linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed it. Peace, love, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.